Assalamu alaikum, you guys, and happy Ramadan. Right now we are in the second half of Ramadan right now, and the reason why I just could not record, I've been really behind on my recording, is just because Ramadan has started, and I will not lie, it is very hard to take time out of your day when you're already working 8 to 10 hours shifts. Then you're breaking your fast, and like the first half you're kind of already tired, and then you just want to go to sleep. And I've been trying every single day since the first day to do a Ramadan video, but after today I think I officially figured out why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prolonged my recording time, and today I'm going to record this video for you guys. And I was watching a YouTube video right before iftar, which iftar means is when we break our fast for the evening. And I watched like a motivational video, always all the time before I actually break my fast, to kind of remind me to why I'm doing this again. And I was just on YouTube, and a video popped up, and she's not a Muslimah, but still she believes in God, so she is a woman of God. And the video says, and I cannot quote it, but it did say, God will make you so uncomfortable until you get into the position that He has willed for you. And I kind of want just to add on to this because it spoke to me, because what she said I've dealt with, and just even the subject title of it is what I dealt with. I'm going to try to make this as short as I can. I only have probably like 12 minutes left of the video, so let's start. 2018 has been a hell of a year. We're in the first half of the year. Let me just say, my whole life, I've always had this, one of my favorite sayings by Sigmund Freud is, what can go wrong will go wrong. And 2018 has been that year. Let me just say how I am now in a better place right now. I cannot say position just as yet, but I can say in a better place of mind when it comes to my health. As you guys always know, I always say I suffer from mental illnesses, which is bipolar disorder, depression, and ADD, which I gladly do claim. When you have those three disorders that you've probably been growing up with your whole life, but until you turn like 24, 25-ish, you just not figure it out. Even though it's great that you already know what it is, you still have to learn how to grow and cope with that in life, and especially with working. Now, for the past couple of years now, I've been in between jobs and positions, to where at first the main jobs that I probably have made the most money, I would say, is in the call center industry. I've worked from Apple to big companies like First Data, from all those kind of positions, right? And I made like a lot. For somebody who has barely a college degree, I've made a lot of money from these jobs. However, suffering from ADHD, those jobs suck because it drains your life. Your mind is meant to spread and to always grow when you have ADD. And when you have that, you can't fulfill your maximum potential as a human being on this earth, because you're doing a very routine job. Every day is the same exact day. You can actually measure your day. You know exactly what's going to be going on. You know exactly how it's going to end. The same shift, the same time. Nothing changes 365 days out of a year. And with that, I would say, kind of like how the other girl was saying, or I'll just speak for me. After converting to Islam around 2016, I've had my ups and downs. I always call myself kind of like Islam's bad teenager, where it's like she just doesn't want to listen. She kind of does everything on her own. And finally, I was like, you know what? I just give up. So, long story short, like I said, I was in a very bad depressed stage around 2017. I was just highly depressed. I was depending on other people to make me happy. I never depended on myself. I didn't even depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I just depended on human beings, on men especially. I had depended on men to fulfill my wishes and my demands and to make me a better person, which actually that's the opposite way. A man cannot make you a better person unless he's your husband. Working these jobs, working these 9 to 5s, just literally trying to stay alive. You know, and every day I would just be like, I'm ready to leave, I'm ready to quit this job. However, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, Aisha, if you quit this job right now, what are you going to be doing with your life? Like, you don't have a background yet to where you can just go to any job. The only thing that you can do right now is costing the work. So God himself was like trying to like make me get out of this position, right? And I just would not listen. I would just keep staying in this position to where I was doing the same exact thing. I swear to you, I was crying. I would get up and cry. I would have to pray like extra hard prayers just to make it through the day. I was trying to get off my medication because I believe in it, but I'm very anti-medication at the same time. For some things, I feel like you should learn how to cope with things at a certain time period. And I had to actually get back on medication. I almost committed suicide one time because I was just so depressed with myself and I wasn't moving anywhere. It was weird. I was making like a certain amount of income above the $15 rate. However, it was not even like reflecting on my paycheck. Like, it felt like I was making $10 an hour still. So I would just be like, what the hell is going on? Like, it just made me more and more and more and more depressed. And if I need to, I'll make this video into a part 2, because you know what, now I really want to get deep down into how God has helped me go into different kind of positions. So starting on January, I was already kind of feeling that way. I was just like, you know what, I started off the new year by myself. A so-called friend of mine kind of was just like, you know what, we're going to go party. And I was like, you know, I really don't party anymore. I said, you know, I'm not as devoted as I should be into Islam. However, I'm still, you know, on the pathway. And just started from that day on, just really in a depressed mood. Like I said, I would depend on men themselves to make me happy, especially Muslim men. You know, looking for a husband in the wrong intentions, to the point where like I just felt so depressed. One man who I was like deeply in, I don't know, love with at one point, just, you know, I found out some news about him in the beginning of the year, and it like literally broke my heart and it broke my mind. Like, forget my heart, like my heart can heal. My mind just could not handle the fact that this person actually decided to actually move on in the position to where it was like I would never get him back. So now to cope with that, instead of me coping with the Quran or, you know, talking to my imam about it, or, you know, talking to brothers and sisters with it, I was instead doing something else to cope with my feelings. I was partaking in, you know, things that, you know, I shouldn't have been doing at the time, just to cope with it every single day. Like, that's how I cope with it. It was even to the point where that so-called friend of mine was indulging in that, and we were going through the same thing. We were both, you know, always, every day, while we did stick together, we did it because we needed to bounce off. Like, we had to hold on to each other, because if not, we were both going to crash like some crash dummies in a vehicle. I mean, it was that bad to the point I was coping with things that I won't say, because, you know, keep your issues private. But just really bad. Even back to my job. So I was going to my job still with these negative energies. Always going there depressed, to the point where I just wouldn't even take a phone call. Like, I would just like sit and not take a phone call at all, and I would just pray that, you know, I would get fired. Like, you know, you should quit a job and you shouldn't get fired from a job, but that's how bad I wanted it, right? So I'm thinking, okay, like, I got to get out of this job. So I applied for another job in the same category field, cost center wise, but it wasn't going to be doing like tech support. It was going to be in the healthcare market. And like, this is how bad, you know, I wanted to leave my job, to where I was willing to take a pay cut of like $1 and some change. Not too bad to where I couldn't survive, but just to get out of that position and to like still be stabilized and still be stable like income wise, I decided to take a $1.50 pay cut and drive down. Mind you, I was working in Marietta, Georgia at the time for like a year and a half for one call center, and then I decided to leave from Marietta to Alpharetta. Now, if you know anything about Atlanta, Georgia, Alpharetta is like a very, very big town. However, it's like from the city of Atlanta, it's about 45 minutes away. So I was driving 45 minutes out of my way to take a pay cut just to survive, right? And so much was going on at the time. I met somebody else during that same time, and I was so, you know, just fugazi. I was so like Beyonce, crazy in love, thinking that, you know, this was going to work. This is Allah, not knowing the whole time this is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is actually Shaitan tricking me, making me think that I'm doing the right things here, have me thinking that I'm, you know, falling for his wants and his desires and not for my needs and the commands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided for me. So I actually left, I quit my job and went to the other job, and I promise you guys, that it wasn't the other job itself. It was just the call center, just the call center vibe. I just could not do it anymore. Just that routine position. Some people may like a routine position, but somebody that has ADHD and ADD cannot do a routine job. And mind you, I'm still in training. Training is where you're not even on the phones yet, right? However, we had a day of shadowing, and I had an anxiety attack. Just hearing those phone calls in my ear, ringing back and back, having to say yes ma'am and no sir and yes, no, and just having to say the same bull crap script. It was the worst thing ever. And on the 5th day, the last day of the week, you know, I spoke to the operational manager, which basically was the head person in charge. And we had a talk. Sorry, my light. Okay. I have a looming light. My looming light stopped on me, died on me. But that's Shaitan trying to stop this video, but he will not. Subhanallah. And we decided that at the same time that this job was not meant for me. She agreed and I agreed, and that would be my last day at that position. And I was fine with it. You know why? Because that was the last day of payroll anyway. So either way, I was going to get my check the exact next pay period, and I could be gone. Not a problem. See how amazing God is? Now I'm going to finish out the story because this is just part 1. Part 2 of this video is going to be on the part 2 of this. Okay, stay tuned.